Okay, good morning. Today I'm going to talk about getting serious. Okay, I need to get serious. I'm over 65 and the health starts to have problems, okay? And so yesterday I had an EKG to get that had some problems. I guess all my blood and my everything else was okay. They did all sorts of different things. They did some blood tests and things like that. But my EKG had a burp in it or something. So now I'm going to have a stress test. So I got to get serious. And what does that mean? Getting serious. I think every time in life we have these traumas, and these traumas or dangers are very good things for us because they get us serious. I can remember walking down the road in Midland, Michigan and looking over at the field and say, I'm not going to drink anymore. I can remember it. This is over 40 years ago. That doesn't mean I was able to stop drinking, but I made a decision to stop drinking. It was over. I was never going to do this again. But we have these addictions, okay? And we have these habits and we have these things. But I'm going to get serious because it's EKG. And I normally get more serious when there's the opportunity for love. When no love is involved, when there's no possibility of finding a wife or a woman to share my time with, I have trouble getting motivated. I don't know what to say about that, but I'm going to have to somehow find purpose inside the United States. Outside the United States, I don't have this problem, okay? But inside the United States, I have a problem of not having enough relationships. I don't need sex or anything like that. I need to share time with women to get motivated. But I've always known that I drank too much coffee. Oh, I should tell you, I'm at the South Milford, Indiana War Memorial. And it's quite nice. Trying to find a quiet spot to make these videos is kind of tough. I think the sun's going to come up. Over there on that, I don't know, pedestal or monument thing is a sign, an age that says, let's see, what year does it say? 1898, and it says humanity. What a great thing. Okay. I have twice given up coffee. So I am having what I feel is a caffeine related problem, okay? Because I've always been obsessive. I'm very difficult for me to do things in moderation, okay? I have a necklace that I wear that says balance on it that I got after I got out of a treatment center 37 years ago. But there's got to be a balance in everything. And when you have balance, life is good. But I'm prone to going out of balance. So I'm constantly trying to keep my life in balance. Okay, but twice I've given up coffee for 1 year. In 1 year and exactly 1 year twice, I started drinking coffee again because of the social aspects. I like the social and I guess I like the whole kind of environment around drinking coffee. And I'm going to go to a coffee shop here. There's a real good coffee shop that's kind of upscale. I cannot go to these. I need to talk to some people that are more upscale. I'm not going to say, at least I got to minimize the people that kind of depress me, okay? But I've always known I've drank too much coffee, so whatever. I got up this morning. I went to the YMCA, and I sat on a bike. It's not a bike. It's a thing that your feet go back and forth. Well, I guess like you saw the video at the beginning of here. And it's to get my heart rate up, get my lungs moving, my aerobic, without putting stress on my knees, okay? And I truly believe that many of you should stop walking and maybe go to biking if you can, or go to the gym or something, because it's just too much stress on you to work all day, stand up, whatever. If you've got a job where you're standing up all day, this is hard, but sitting is hard on your body too. But you got to protect your knees because we're living longer. And we could very easily reach a rate here in the next 10 years where we could live to be 120 real easily. there's some sort of theory. It's acceleration, meaning life, or whatever. There's something that's coming up. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep the synovial fluid, the lubricants that are in the knees, working so that I can walk and feel comfortable. I'm going to minimize almost all steps or anything like that, but I'm going to do only aerobics that is either like kind of in a bicycle that isn't putting direct hardcore pressure on my legs. And I think runners and things and even walkers are things. I think you would do better if you walked backwards, okay? But I have to, because of this knee replacement, I'm doing a bilateral knee replacement. I have 2 knee replacements. So I'm going to go hardcore keto right now, guys, hardcore. And that's really hard. Why is it hard? It's because of the, to go keto and go to eat healthy almost says you can't talk with your friends, okay? I remember reading the Muscle Fitness magazine over 35 years ago. I went to the gym every day for almost 20 years and walked on the treadmill for an hour a day, okay, or got on the Stairmaster. Not good, okay? This was not good, especially with the shape of my femur and the twist in my knee. So this is what caused this, is playing basketball, pole vaulting, high jumping, playing American football, all these things, working construction, always being a very active lifestyle. The body, Tom Bilou or whatever was talking one day the other day, how do we preserve the joints of the body if we want to live forever? Okay, but they require to do this is that I get off all supplements. They didn't really designate what is a supplement versus a thing. I'm kind of assuming they mean all vitamins or pills, okay, which is kind of strange because I've got really pretty good ones, magnesium and things like this, but I'm not taking them, and I'm going to go on an OMAD, 1 meal a day diet, 1 meal a day, OMAD, and that means I eat within a 2-hour window, and it creates the ability for my lymph glands and my autophagy, the cleaning of the debris in my body. I'm trying real hard to get all the extra debris, but the biggest disruptor here has been caffeine. I'm positive of that, and I'm almost guaranteed that thing. That doesn't mean I couldn't have a heart blockage or whatever, but the Graham family has a history of heart blockage, but we also have a history of living to be 100. So I don't know, right? You know, my grandfathers and everybody lived to be 100. We have good genetics for long age. But we always ate, we didn't eat the SAD diet, the standard American diet. We ate the bacon and eggs and, you know, things in the breakfast in the morning. And we worked real hard, and we didn't have these processed foods. I mean, most of the people that lived a long time were before the processed food. Really, in the 1960s, they went to this carbohydrate idea, which is the reason, in my opinion, for type 2 diabetes. It's rampant because we should be eating eggs and bacon in the morning and not this cereal. Cereal and grains are bad. Okay, but I got to. One of the things to do this is I have to choose my foods daily. And this is probably the biggest thing that I really got to do correctly. I'm going to say, you never do everything correctly, but I'm going to do this correctly. I'm going to choose my foods the day before correctly. And I'm only going to have about a 700 calorie diet because calories do matter, okay? Can't really lose weight. And I'm at about 205 right now. And I need to get down to about 175 to be, and I go up and down. I'm a roller coaster, right? But I got to choose my day. But then I'm going to go buy them every day. I believe that you shouldn't have food in your house in this economy because it's just a way for temptation to always be available. And eating 3 times a day is really kind of insane. It's at best 2 times and have a window of about 6 hours. And I know that I should never eat any sugar. We do cookies, family, we get together, family, we get together with friends. You don't want to be the oddball, right? So social pressure is a very tough thing to being healthy. But today I'm going to have, I think I'm going to have celery, spinach, bananas. I realize that to get the electrical chemical synapses, it's a combination of magnesium. It's kind of connected with the electrolytes. But the thing that gives the charge is a combination of sodium and potassium, and I guess magnesium and calcium. And I'm going to get these things in balance. I'm going to have to do it. They want me to get off the supplements, so I'm going to try to do it with food, which is you got to eat about 8 to 10 cups of dark green vegetables a day, cruciferous they call it, but they're dark green. Anything white is bad. Anything green, dark colored, is kind of good in food. But I'll have celery, spinach, bananas. What are they going to do? They're going to give me 8 bananas. I don't need 8 bananas, okay? I'm going to have to give away food every day because this is the problem. And I hope to get eggs. I'm debating on that. If I could find a place where they're actually cutting off the turkey and I could do it. Maybe I'll go to the Kroger's. Maybe they have it where they just cut off from the turkey instead of this processed turkey, right? But my bigger problem is going to be the drink alternatives, okay? Because I still want to be sociable. I still would like to go to McDonald's. I'd like to go to a coffee shop. I really don't want to drink decaf coffee. Why do I want to get brown tea with no caffeine? And I'm not going to drink Diet Coke. It's got caffeine, and there's going to be really tough. And I'm not going to pump in orange juice and all the sugar drinks. So very tough. But at home, I can drink hibiscus, ginger, and water. Those are 2 drinks I know that I can have. And I've been doing this for years. I mix up a little ginger in the thing. And well, if you really want to have these things correctly, whether you're trying to do your turmeric or anything like that, put it in a jar, a glass jar. You don't want to use plastic ever. And then shake it. That's the best way to quickly do this. But it kind of aerates it'll aerate coffee too. But shake it, and that's kind of a blender without a blender, and it's a lot faster. And see, some of this stuff becomes so onerous, like the guys walking around with a blender and a bullet and all these different things, that they like the process. They like the game of getting healthy more than they actually like the study of things. But you got to make... I won't do something if they make it work. I'm not going to eat organic food. It's just not that important. What more important to me is the air I breathe, okay? So I like to live inside the United States. I'm recommending cities with less than 15 to 20,000 people. That'll blow away the exhaust fumes enough to maybe breathe. When I was in California, I had real trouble walking down this 3-lane highway next to Carmel by the Sea. I could actually feel it. I just came from Guatemala. I just came from fresh air, and it was really a thing. Now I'm kind of acclimated to pollution, right? Drink out of one of the problems I'm having in the United States, there are a lot of water fountains, and I really believe that drinking out of a bottle is horrible. Drinking out of a water fountain, you're kind of mixing air with the water. So I'm going to get serious here and be carrying a glass. I have a glass already in my one backpack. Now I got 2 backpacks now. I got one for my computer and I got one for the gym. But there's a lot of, if you see me, what happens is there's a lot of small autoimmune problems. Like I know that I'm having trouble with sugar and for sure sugar, but that's not the autoimmune problem, but with cheese and milk and bread. So if I eat these foods, I wake up and have a runny nose, a little brain fog, and I'm not so clear. Okay, so if I wake up in the morning, I really review it. An elimination diet, which is kind of a joke because they don't really tell you how to do it, is quite easy. You wake up every day, and if your eyes are foggy, your brain's a little foggy, you got mucus in your throat, or your nose is running, you've had a slight, not an allergic reaction, but a slight allergic reaction. Steve Gundry talks about lectins and things, and this is kind of the idea. This is like the gluten-free idea. You give up grains, and most of this will go away. Give up grains and milk, and almost everything goes away. Okay, that's it. That's all you got to do. That means the breads and the things and the spaghettis and all these things, right? But I'm going to pick out the foods because I know which foods kind of irritate me. But see, these are not so bad that these don't stop you. These just a little bit of annoyance. It's an annoyance, sort of it's like an allergic reaction to food. Your body just disagrees, so it secretes more things. It's kind of like if you took pepper and you put it in your mouth, your mouth's gonna water up, and you're gonna need a drink of water. Same thing. You take certain foods in, you need more mucus, and your sinuses think. The body puts up protections against these things. My nose is going to be clean every day. I'm going to work out 2 times a day, and I'm going to do about 40 minutes. See, on this treadmill, it looks like they have 7 layers for the stress test, and it's 3 minutes each level if they make me walk. It's really going to be hard to walk. My knees are really in pain, right? They have a chemical way of doing this too. But I'm going to work out. I'm going to try to sit on this thing that you saw at the beginning. I'll put it at the end, I guess. That machine is real good because it hasn't really any pressures on my knees, but I can get all the muscles in it. And it also locks. When my leg locks, it's good for stretching my leg for the thing. And I'll be using this machine a lot after my knees are replaced. 2 a day for 40 minutes. They do 7 levels times 3 minutes each, so it's 21 minutes. So I feel that if I double the aerobic, I will have enough. See, you can't do the same or whatever. You got to really double dip. A lot of people minimize with that. They got to maximize things, okay? A lot of times, but you got to be real careful on maximizing aerobic stuff because as you get older. Everybody walks. That's like the panacea. Walking is really not that beneficial, okay? It is good to get some blood flowing or whatever, but really walking sideways, walking backwards would be much better. But getting on the machines is good. But probably the ideal machines, in my opinion, is probably that machine I showed you or a bicycle. Less strain on the knees is going to get. That bicycle has arms too, so I'm getting both an arm exercise and a leg exercise. The problem is I can't get it up to, I can only get up to about 120, 30 beats per minute. It does tell me, it's got a little handles. You got these handles on these machines that'll tell you your heart rate. So I can get up to about 130, but I think to do this test, they're going to get me up to about 150. Okay, and that's kind of hard to do. Okay, but I don't know. I have, my problem isn't the muscles. My problem is the breathing because I broke the left nostril twice. Got hit by a baseball one time. Got hit. Somebody knows me when I was playing soccer one time. But I'm going to try to sweat a lot, so I'm going to always wear my sweatshirts to the gym, and I'm going to go to a sauna, one of the Ys with a sauna, and when I can, Indiana is not the best for sun, but when I can, I'll lay out in the sun and get a couple hours worth of sun time because I truly believe that the sun is not causing cancer. I 100% believe that sun is not the problem. It's all the chemicals you put on your skin that is causing the problem. I was going to a hot tub every day, and I realized I can't deal with it. There's way too much chlorine there. I'm sitting there just opening up the pores and pumping in chlorine. Not the idea. Now, there is an idea that the sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is one of these, I think it's an electrolyte, but I get up every morning. Like, one of the problems I've been having is I don't have enough sun. So I finally broke open my, it's been funny, my seesaw thing would not let the soda. I finally broke the top off of there because I need to have about 1 small teaspoon of salt daily. So I wake up in the morning and take some salt, and I'm going to take a little bit of salt all day long, and that will keep my body functioning, stop me from having cramps, okay? But I'm going to make a long list of acceptable foods. I'm going to check my blood pressure 5 times a day. I just have it sitting. The way I have a cuff, and everybody says they don't work. That's bullshit. Just do something. Better than nothing, okay? Something is better than nothing. So I have a cuff that, and if I was living in the United States, I'd have one at my desk. I'd have one in the car. I'd have one. So also, but do it the exact same way. Left arm, put your hand up to your heart. That's probably the easiest way to remember. You're supposed to have your elbow supported. And when they took my blood pressure and I had 140 blood pressure, she did everything wrong yesterday. I've been doing a lot of research on blood pressure. I got some really great, on my biohacking chatting, I have this database. I got over 600 different playlists that I've watched. But I got to make a list. The potassium, salt, calcium, magnesium balance is real important. I got to get rid of this flush. Yesterday I got on, when I came up from the EKG, I went and got on the treadmill and I got a flush. I got a pressure popping up and there was like a feeling like my skin, like I was getting too much pressure, okay? And I know what it is. It's just that I haven't pushed the body enough to go beyond this. It's kind of like a second wind. When you run like 20 miles, you get a second wind after thing. On the bike today, when I was doing this thing for 20 minutes, after about 8 minutes into it, all my muscles were pumped up, and then it became very easy. One thing for sure, when you're riding a bike and you want to go 50 miles, once you get pumped up, don't get off that bike. You're pumped and your body's into the rhythm. Don't get up the bike because you got to go through the same process again. But I got to empty my bowels and my skin of all the extra things. So I'm going to try to sweat vigorously. I highly believe one of the most healthy things that you can do for your body is sweat. If I was rich, I would have a hot tub with hot water with no chemicals in it, and then a cold shower, and I would go back and forth. They call this hormesis. Okay, but I got to sweat it out. So I would guess I would have a sauna, a hot tub, and a thing if I was rich. And so to me, the people that are the richest are the ones that have these machines, these things in their house. Okay, most people don't care really. They really, in my opinion, most people want to look good, like they're exercising. They don't really want to do the science of working out. One of the members of my Patreon asked me to start addressing. I think there's some sort of group chat that we can have on Patreon, and he wants me to start talking about keto all the time because there's a lot of caveats about keto. The problem with keto is it's a lot of study to try to understand what you're eating, okay? And a lot of people it's like a juicy rational. They skip and they eat stuff that's bad for them. But I truly believe the elimination diet is a little bit better. But I do believe that the autophagy and the exercise window of only, that's some really loud birds here. I think a window of about 4 hours a day of eating is good, and you need to figure out your autoimmune problems, your small allergies, the micro allergies that just make your nose run in the morning. So if your nose is running in the morning, remember what I said. What did you eat yesterday? But you guys that eat or nibble all day long, you're kind of hopeless, right? On the coffee, I cannot tell anybody I'm giving up coffee. I always told people I'm giving up coffee. I'm not going to do it. It's like everybody knows I don't drink, so they don't ask me to go to a bar. I want to go to the bar. I just don't want to drink, okay? I want to go to the coffee shop. I just don't want to drink caffeine. I'm going to give up grains, all grains, and of course, all sugar. I don't really have that much problem with sugar, but I do go with the family and eat too many. My sister made molasses cookies and chocolate chip cookies, and you haven't had these. One of the biggest problems I've had since I returned is there's all these foods that I like that I don't eat very much. Like I don't eat at McDonald's, guys. I do eat, since I've been here, everybody thinks because I go to McDonald's, I'm like you and I'm going to stop. I just drank coffee there, and one time I ate an Egg McMuffin, which is pretty healthy for you. But Trevor Mowat says, don't say stupid things out loud. I said something stupid typed it out, and I'm not going to say it out loud. All the things that are hard, I have to address, okay? But life is a challenge. Life is an experiment. So everything I do in life is an experiment. I wrote a book called Life is an Experiment, the Hobo Way. Okay, I really want to erase the word hobo because people cannot understand it was for fun. And then hobo is an itinerant worker and whatever. But I'm going to try to always work at the computer sitting up. I had a problem because in all the hotels I'm at, they don't really have desks and tables and stuff like that. So I'm always working. But I'm trying real hard to change my habit of doing that instead of, I have a keyboard. And one of the problems with palpation of the heart and stuff is electrical things. And I have this keyboard where I can have the computer like 5 feet away and I can type on the computer. And I should go to that. So I get the computer away from me. What happens is I end up watching, Sheldon, the Big Bang Theory or something like that, or Elementary, and I fall asleep watching the computer. And it goes dark screen, but it's still not good. We shouldn't be sleeping with our computers. But life goes on. It's a balance, right? You can't just say you're not going to do these things. That doesn't work. There's no such thing as an absolute. I'm going to eat about 4 a.m. every day. So from 2 to 4 or 5, something like that, I'm going to eat. Then I'm going to go walk it off at the gym or exercise it off at the gym so that the digestion goes through. One of the problems we have is digestion, the biome, and getting the biome things. They have not addressed the thing. One of the funny things, one of my friends, Mark, told me that he's scared of hospitals, or he didn't like hospital because they're thinking that MRSA is so bad, okay, that they're making me put, for the 5 days before that, I'm supposed to put this antibiotic cream inside my nose so that I don't breathe this and get this staph infection in my nose. That's how bad it is in the hospital. And it's like an incubator for disease. I'm going to exercise twice a day. I'm going to be an alpha male. I realize that the United States are a bunch of wimps. I'm going to be the one that always says hello. And it's amazing, the fear-based mental diffusion. There's absolutely insanity going on in the developing countries. They don't understand manners, how to be a gentleman, how to be a lady, how to be of good breeding. When you say hello to somebody and you ignore them and we're not really doing it, you're really learning to be evil, okay? You're buying into the evil ways. But I'll be the one that says hello to everybody. I dream of a world free of white lies. Hey, I accept that I annoy people because I analyze too much. I do this for fun, so by talking, I take my subconscious mind and I create a more thing. Because if you're going to learn something, you got to utilize the knowledge you learn. So knowledge without utilizing it is worthless. So just being a college professor and studying something has no value unless you teach. Teach does it, but it's not the actual application and using of the knowledge. So semis. Okay, life is good. I'm here and you're not. Why not? So what should I label this video? Andy getting serious on exercise. But in some ways, I'm concerned. I want to live to 120. I got to clean out my blood system. And I got to get serious. You got to really do it. Peter Attia is really good on this. One of the people, Steve Gundry, of course, Eric Berg. There's a lot of different people, but I have a channel called Biohacking, and on that biohacking, one of the benefits of it is I have about 600 playlists, and you can go to that database and you can scroll down to specific problems that you have, and I keep adding to it all the time. Daily I add to it, and what's interesting is you can choose a topic and then watch like 6 videos without having to search for these things, because YouTube is trying with their algorithm to always just get you entertained and get you into an anger rush and not stay focused. They work against you learning. Okay, I'm Andy Lee Graham. I've traveled to 114 countries. I'm going to go to Africa, and I got to get my knees replaced so I can have I can walk easier. I got a 40-pound backpack on the front, 20-pound backpack on the front. I carry 2 computers. I carry what I need to live. I am not a minimalist. I am a person that lives very effectively.